it's apparent here all that Joseph and Mary in the social strata at the time are outcasts. They had to make a journey, a really frugal one. They couldn't get into any motel or inn because the people didn't like to look at them. And they had nowhere to go really. And so they had to go to a cave. There were many of those around Bethlehem where they put in their cattle at night. And so that's where Joseph and Mary had to settle down. So it wasn't very easy for them. But all the time they were just doing what God was asking of them. And so they settled down. There were some animals in the cave, of course. And Joseph had to try and make a little fire. And they had to gather some water from the spring or well. And so it was very hard for them. And there was no one there to help them. They were just abandoned. And I think everyone at times feels abandoned. You think that everything in the world is going wrong with you. You're not getting any help from anyone, even your dear friends and your family. But you've got to keep staggering on, keep pushing on, because we're part of God's pilgrimage people who are with Him always. And I think Christmas is just a reminder to us of the glorious dignity of the human race. The fact that with all our failings and our mistakes and the horrors of one group of fests on another, we are still a deep race that God has come amongst. And God Himself decided to join the human race. That's what Christmas is about. That's what Christmas is trying to come into our hearts. That God is with us. He's part of your life. He's in the depths of your heart. And people say, where's God? Well, God's in your fingertips. God is when you're doing your cooking, or looking after your children, or trying to make sure that everything in the house is running. How you relate to your family or your friends. How you try and meet the difficulties of life. That's where God is. You'll be our lights in our heart. If you could go into the depths of your being, there you would find God, the light. And that light never lets you down. In the darkness, the light is there. It's just whether you're going to turn to Him and let Him shine into you and say, Lord, be with me now. I've got this immense problem. I'm disappointed. Things are not going well. I'm fearing for the future. And all the time God's saying, do not be afraid. When Mary said, how can this be? The angel said, do not be afraid, Mary. The shepherds said to the angel to the shepherds today, don't be afraid. You can face anything with God's hope and strength with you. So that's what Christmas is. It's an affirmation of who we are. It's an affirmation of the presence of God in your life. Though you don't see it and feel that He's there. That's called faith, believing. And so, in a few today, I take the bread and the wine, which is gathering up all the experiences you have, good or bad, all the hopes you hold, all the parts of your life, and they're then taken up and put on the altar. And the words of the Mass where God says, this is my body, this is my blood. And so they all are transformed into wonderful prayer to God, thanksgiving, and strengthening for us. So it's a wonderful time at Christmas, wonderful time of renewed hope and strength, and we're blessed to have such wonderful children around us, the future for us there, the shepherds and the angels, and they're just symbolic of the ever presence of God in our life.